Hi everyone, this is Evie at Quesadot, and I am back with a little share of the projects that I worked on. This weekend I decided to play on some mixed media pieces, and I was inspired by the package that Rosa sent. And she's Color Explosions by Rosa here on YouTube. And I selected the first stencil that was on the pack that she sent to work with. So I kept the tape that she had, even though she told me that I could use baby oil to take that off. I kept it on so I could use that little stickiness that's left to stick it to the paper, and it worked really well. And let me show you. I was playing and experimenting. These are pages that I can later on use the techniques on other projects. So these are little experiments that I do in order to find out how things work out and how I like them, and then from there I can go on and work on something different with them afterwards. But what I did was excuse me, because I have a cold, I glued it down. I placed it on the page and it kind of stuck, so it was really nice to have that steady on the page as I was inking it up. And what I used was stamping ink, and I used little makeup sponges, those wedges that you find at the pharmacy. That's what I used to apply my ink to the stencil. So all of the inside was combining like 3 different tones of inks and playing with like the depth on it, getting some areas darker and some lighter. And then then I spread inks all over the background. I don't know if you can see that, but those are all stamping inks in all of the background of the page. And once I lifted that up, I had that white border around it. And what I did was I stamped a little tiny flower stamp that you can see here and here. I just repeated it going all the way around. And in between that purple stamping, I did some doodling with a gel pen in the same tone. So it kind of frames the whole image. I was just playing around. And then for the rest of the page, let me zoom out a little bit here. I hope I can do this right. There you go. Okay, so there. So then around that, I played with the other different types of things. There's stamping over here with a doily stamp that was part of this recollection set that Becky got for me at Michael's. So I used this one up here in a green, like a sage green, and then a turquoise up there. I think they're Stampers Best, but they're from my stash of stamps. I've been taking them out and trying to use them up because I put them away and I forget to use them. So I played with stamps there. I also used some stencils, and the stencils that I used were this one that Luisa had sent me in a swap a while back, and this is Mini Art Is. So I used this one up here going up, and then there's another part going here, going this way. And then the other stencil that I used is this one here with the clocks, and that's the name of it, Mini Time Travel. So those were the different elements that I used. What I did for the stenciling and in that pink that you're going to see is, let me see if I can go in again, is that let me move it a little bit. Well, that's my journaling there, but in my gel pen. But you can see it down there and up here at the side. What I do is I add my acrylic paint to my molding paste. So this time I used a pearlescent baby pink, very light pink, and I added it to my molding paste, and then I spread it onto the stencil with a makeup wedge. And it comes on so smoothly. I like it so much more than using a palette knife. It comes out a lot cleaner when I lift my stencils up, and it works really well. So I'm liking that I tried this weekend. Did you see the clock up there? And I'm moving my tripod and everything, so I'm sorry if I'm getting too shaky on you. But I'm trying to give you like a whole look of the page and what everything looks like up close. So then let me pan out a little bit here again. And I'll show you the other page. So for this one, I worked with this beautiful peacock, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here, but it's a beautiful stencil cutout of a peacock. Can you see it there? It's a gorgeous image, and I just love it. Now I played with it to see how it works out and how it looks, and mainly what I was doing was trying out the stencil that she had sent with some molding paste, because I wanted to see if I could use it and if I could clean it up and be able to do other things with it. And it worked out perfectly. I added it on with that same makeup wedge, and since it's so smooth and gentle and I was super careful with it, it worked perfectly, and it got really nice dimension on it. And so I play around with that. I used the same molding paste with a same colored acrylic on it. Let it dry overnight, and then today I played in the background with the pearlescent watercolors. It's the same palette that Rosa sent, but I had my old one, and since now I have that extra one, I went to town playing with the colors on that palette. So I used a purple and like a fuchsia color, greens and blues, and I went in with my peacock like blue into the set, like into all of the open spaces that were left by the stencil. All the white spaces I filled up with the peacock blue. And then if you go down a little bit, you'll see I used a stamp there. I used some of the feathers. Well, these are two of the feathers that Marla had sent me. And this little applique down here is for my winnings from Gisela, or Gisela, from Lavish Laces. I won a giveaway that she had last year, and that beautiful applique was part of the package that she sent to me. So I cut out those 3 pieces and I added them. Oops, sorry for moving that. I added them to the page. And there's a beautiful Chinese stamp here that I won from Steph in her giveaway. And then this and this one down here are, I think they're Stampers Best that I cut out. There's a swirl stamp back here also. I don't remember the brand of that. But I played around with different images all around that page. And I really love the look of the peacock. I am thinking of probably, the next one would probably be like a solid color in the background on just leaving her without the coloring inside. Because after I worked on the whole page, and it looks artsy, and I like the experiment, I like how it looks. But I want to try it out without having any color inside of it. Just because I really, really loved how it looked, all of it just in the molding paste and the pink. So I'm probably going to try that out next. But I really love that image so much. So anyways, those were the 2 pages that I worked